Okay, so I don't know if whoever was in the live stream earlier, it was on my other channel, but that ended up being way more L than I thought I took. And then my plans ended up not going through. Homie is busy until late tonight. I would go over there late tonight and trip with them, but I can't because I got to work tomorrow and I got to be responsible. So I'm being irresponsible right now. Tripping balls pretty hard right now. Like, I'm finally coming out of the madness, so I figured I'd record. But I got a little in the madness for a little bit. It just got a little wild. It was just me here. And I went for a walk, and I probably shouldn't have went for a walk, so I ordered myself some pizza because I was going to go to the store and get some pizza. But, yeah, life's great. And I'm also doing an edible. I got an 800 milligram edible brewing right now. So as I come down off the LSD, I'm gonna, take the edible as soon as it's done. And because I took the LSD at 5:30. So that's 4 hours ago. I don't want to just eat on camera and shit, be rude. So I'm whatever. But I feel fucking great. Yes. Don't be scared to be free. Don't be scared to be yourself. It's fucking awesome. I think humans need to live a little. We take things too damn seriously, especially me. I'm such a serious fucking person in life. I take things so goddamn seriously. It's funny. It's funny. 3 weeks ago, I was tripping, and I was sad. Right now, I'm tripping, and life's good. Life's been good, but, I don't know. Anything's possible. It's fucking crazy. Life is the most magical, beautiful fucking thing that I could ever try to explain. Huh. And it's now, I'm just fucking... I feel lately in my life, I've just been flowing like a fishing water, right now I'm eating some Domino's. Shout out to fucking Domino's. Yeah. Shit's life right now. Just cheese pizza, extra sauce. I've honestly just been doing for a while? I've generally just been like flowing and shit. You know what I mean? Like just flowing and shit. And yeah. I sat on the porch for a while, stared off. And obviously the typical LSD things, the colors and the patterns and like it's like the technicolors that you see and like it's all that happy jazz, but man, it just reminds you that life is so fucking beautiful. And then tomorrow I'm gonna go back to work like a normal human being. Yeah. I find it interesting that you get the Lysergamide munchies. Like, Lysergamides, like LSD, LSA. I don't know if you can get past the nausea of the morning glories and all that shit. Lysergamides tend to give me munchies. Because I feel like I have the munchies right now. Maybe because I'm really high, too. I only ingested probably about 100 micrograms. Honestly. Just 100 micrograms. Something light. Probably even lighter than that. I don't even know. But I'm about to take a 800 milligram edible. THC edible. And I've been on the search for more LSD all night. My one dude, I can get more probably like 11 o'clock tonight, which is in like 2 hours, but I'm not trying to take more LSD like past a certain time tonight because I do have to work tomorrow. But yeah, my life. Like I said, after a night like I live and the lives that I live, I just go back to work tomorrow like a normal human being. None of us are normal human beings. But I feel fucking great being a not normal human being. Because at least I just feel free. Me. I feel more complete. And now I think it's time this edible. Much love, Dirty Dan. What's going on? You ever eat food when you're tripping and it's like, oh, so Anytime I'm going off camera, I'm probably just over there dancing. Don't mind me. Nope. Perhaps they're gonna sue us. Okay, so can't find a fucking. Okay. So I'm tripping. I don't feel like fucking trying to find a cup or anything. Whatever. So I poured this shit in a bowl. Looks like some milk, slightly colored green, and smells a shit ton like weed. So I figured I'm tripping balls. It's gonna start ending soon. Well, because I'm like 4 hours into it. It's gonna start coming down eventually. So I'm gonna take this edible, and that shit's gonna knock me down. But yeah, okay. So thank you to Mary Jane. Thank you to LSD for today. Thank you, Albert Hoffman. Thank you, life in general. Yeah. Thank you all for joining me. What's going on, Dracula? Everyone in the chat, everyone watching, what's going on? Hope everyone having a fucking awesome time, because I'm about to drink this THC edible while I'm tripping balls on LSD. I'm not tripping balls. It's not like I'm tripping heavy, because it was a light dose, but it was going to be so much more. But it didn't need to be, because so many people be like, yo, I took a 10 strip of, I don't care how much you took. What did you learn from it? If you could take one hit of LSD and get the same that a 10 strip can get out of you, then I commend you. Because that's some shit that I be doing. Like, I like to take, if I take one hit of L, it's just as well as if I took more. But like, it's all based on intention and what I do it. And I mean, I was just dancing around fucking mad. Like, hold on. Whew. But yeah, sometimes the psychedelics less is more. Sometimes more is more because I've been on this search all night for more. But like, I could get more, but I just it's just I'll wait. Patience is a virtue. And sometimes you gotta enjoy what you have. So I'm gonna enjoy the rest of what I feel, even though I can't get any more, and I'm just gonna take this THC edible. Fuck yeah. So cheers. Not bad. Maybe because I'm tripping. It tastes perfectly fine to me. I don't even have any chocolate.
Still talking?
Mm-hmm.
How are you?
I'm good. But yeah,
Okay, you're good.
THC edible, guys, is fucking awesome. I can tell tonight's gonna be night. Woo! And if I did not have to work tomorrow, I would have just kept going. Like, I think people are so scared of these things. Why are people so scared of psychedelics? Why are people so scared to trip? And like, I don't know. I see a lot of people are like, "Oh my god, you shouldn't trip this often." There's all these rules so people don't lose their mind with psychedelics. So you're careful, and yeah, there should be. You should be careful with all drugs, with all substances. But like, sometimes it's just nice to just be, just whoever you are, whatever you would do, not being controlled by what someone else wants you to do. Because you know what I would do? I would take psychedelics and drink cannabis edibles. Yes, my type of life. You know what I noticed too? That because I just take my shatter and I just take half and half and whole milk and mix those in half and put it on the pot, put my shatter in it, melt it in it, and let it brew for a while. Just so the THC decarboxylates. And then once the THC decarboxylates, you can just eat it. And I just drink it. And then boom. And then that's going to kick in. And that'll be dope. Life is great. Yo, it's so crazy that fucking 8 months ago, I used to say I fucking hate my life. And you know how many times a day I would say I hate my life? How many times a day do people say that shit to themselves? Before enough is enough to be like, yo, bro, there's something off here. If I hate my life this often, I gotta do something about it. Like, yeah. Mm. It's interesting because I could feel the trip starting to come down. Maybe my high's starting to come down because I'm like, I don't even know. Time has been off today since I took obviously. But it's like, I don't even know. I'm about to go to the store and get a fucking Dutch. Because, I don't smoke Dutches, but, I, like, smoke hemp Dutches and shit. So. Have I had any... Tony Beak 11, what's going on, man? Says, did you have any interesting insights or visuals on your trip? Today's trip was just I take life too fucking seriously trip. Like, I just need to be me and just have fun and be free and live and laugh and yeah. Just like everyone else in life, nobody likes to be somewhat boxed in, you know what I mean? You want to be able to spread your wings. And that's what this trip has kind of shown me, that I need to just spread my wings and continue spreading my wings because that's what I'm doing. And this is more of a celebratory thing for me because, like, I finished I trim CBD flower every week as a side job. And it's like, I finished a day early today. I finished today. And as soon as I finished, that's when I took the fucking L at 5:30. I finished at 5:30, told the dude to pick up the fucking the CBD flower, and I live stream on my other channel, so you can see it that I live streamed on the other channel, and so you can literally see me taking the CBD flower and like bringing it down to him. But yeah. And just normal LSD visuals. Like I said, I sat on the porch for a while. I don't know how long I sat on the porch. It could have been hours. It could have been minutes. I have no fucking idea. But I just sat there staring and just becoming. And at that point, I was becoming the things that I was staring at. Like the chair I was sitting in, to everything. It was like I let go of all ideas of self and just became the observer. It was so transformative. And as I was sitting there, becoming the observer, just staring off, I closed my eyes for a second in black, infinite nothingness. But that second felt like an eternity. It felt like forever. And then I thought to myself, I just held forever in a second. Like, holy shit, psychedelics for you. Yeah, that's been my day. And this, I mean, I don't know. I took the LSD at 5:30 and it's 10 o'clock now. But so 4.5 hours ago. Oh yeah, I had the time of my life, bro. I'm still having the time of my life. Shit. Tony Big 11 says, that's nuts, man. Definitely sounds like you had fun. But yeah. Still having fun. Now I'm just about to go from like hype because LSD kind of makes me want to get up and dance, and I've just been moving and riding the bike around and just laughing and walking around and just staring off in the clouds and just living and breathing, and it's been fucking beautiful. But now that I took that cannabis edible, I'm just about to be sitting here high as fuck. But yeah. Justin Marshall, what's going on, bro? Says, I've never tried LSD. I want to try half a tab and smoke weed with it. That's what I just did. I just took half a tab and smoked weed with it. But also now I just took an edible. And I smoked weed and dabbed out all day and all this other shit. But the problem is when you take half a tab, it depends on, like, one, it depends on where you get your LSD from. How much LSD is on the blotter paper? Because the blotter paper I had must have had at least anywhere from 180 to 200 micrograms on it, or to 220 micrograms on it. Because I split it in half, and I'm feeling the way I feel, and there's no way I feel the way I feel today. I'm like 50 micrograms. There's no way. But yeah. So that's a give or take thing. You don't really know when you take a half a tab, but just go with it. Honestly, the best thing is just take the full tab and just go in, and set it right. Set the day right. If you're going to trip, if you've never tripped before, set the day right. So it's like, you don't have to worry about it. You're taken care of. The house is good. No one's going to bother you for 12 hours, especially if you're doing LSD for like 12 hours. No one's got to bother you. And just be with it and have a friend there and whatever. But yeah, it's better to just go all in, because I take lower doses sometimes just to experiment. I like to experiment and explore with the lower doses. I like to try to see if I can push the lower doses into high doses. And if you can, then does that mean that it has nothing to do with the dose necessarily? It doesn't mean that it's if you know how to open the door will open no matter what dose you take type of deal. Who knows? But Tony Beak 11 says you're a free spirit. I guess I am. I never used to look at myself in that way, but I guess I am, really. I just like to live and be free and just explore. And I'm not scared to try new things. I'm not scared of change. I love change. I love to change. I love to grow. I love to be. I love to, I just love it. I love life. Like, I could sit here and cry about it. Like, I don't know. Maybe every time people be tripping, just getting your feels. But, nah, it's just, life is just, yeah. I don't even know what time I took that edible at. Well, if I've been live streaming for 30 minutes, I have no idea. So, it's 10 o'clock right now. I'm going to say I took it at 10. I know I did not, but whatever. So I guess I'll still say 10 o'clock. Do 9:55, but whatever. Dracula says, although those are some strong tabs, I get decent effects from 80 micrograms. I don't know, the LSD I be getting, like, these shits be dosed correct. But yeah. Some of them are light, some of them are more, but it's all L. Like, I test it all. Like, it's all L. It's all. But Draco says, in my last trip, I had geometrical shapes that modulated to my neurological patterns. That's fucking awesome. I mean, that happened to me kind of, not this trip, but the last trip. Right now, I'm still tripping to the point. I'm not tripping that hard. There's very little visuals right now. Well, I take that, but there's still visuals. Like, I don't know. It's just I don't really pay the visuals much mind. So like, there's still like the walls are still like doing their thing, and there's still Technicolors and everything, and I'm still trailing, I guess. But Koana, what's going on? Justin Marshall says, that's what I do with the low dose weed potentiation strategy on shrooms. It's a good shaman secret. LOL. Fuck yes, it is. A little bit of cannabis, mixing some cannabis can push you a long way. Cannabis is a pretty powerful shamanic tool on its own. Even though the shamans don't really like cannabis for some reason, and maybe it's because the white man brought the cannabis over, so they look at it as the Europeans brought the cannabis over, so maybe it's bad, but it's not. It's probably the best thing they brought over. It's probably the only good thing that they brought over, but it's like, I don't know, some shamans still have that view of cannabis. But I think it's a much better and safer tool than tobacco. And if you don't want to use the psychoactive part of it, smoke CBD flower. It's better than, in my personal opinion. No disrespect to shamans. It's just, Booty Food says, what do you think about Ibogaine? I really want to try Ibogaine. That's what I think about it. Because I'd be really interested in just trying it. Because I think Ibogaine, edible salvia, like eating salvia. These are things that I've never done. Ibogaine, eating salvia, and mescaline. The only psychedelics I haven't done, so I'm just really interested in trying them. I'm gonna probably be exploring with LSD a lot because LSD tends to be the thing that I have right now around me. But like LSD is the thing I'm having fun with because every other psychedelic I take for a really deep spiritual reason. Like, all right, so Tony Beak, this is a perfect question because he came across, I don't know how we on perfect synchronicity moment right now, but like Tony Beak 11 says, what do you like more, boomers or LSD? And people that don't know, boomers or mushrooms. It's hard to say. I think LSD is more fun. I think mushrooms are more punch in the face. I prefer tryptamines. Okay, so my thing is the tryptamine world. It's all based on intention. I take LSD and mushrooms for two different reasons. A lot of people take psychedelics as in psychedelics are psychedelic. And I say no, in a sense that LSD is different than mushrooms, it's different than ayahuasca, and you take these things for different reasons. The reason why you don't see people taking ayahuasca at parties is because it's not that type of thing, and it makes you throw up and makes you sick. But like LSD is more recreational. So yeah, like Dracula says, LSD seems to be more recreational and more manageable. And you're correct. Like it's more manageable. It's more fun. It's more energizing and more like I don't know. Like right now, I feel fucking great. And like, yeah. And even though I know I'm coming down, and like I can feel it starting to wear off. Like I can feel the feeling not lowering in its intensity, but in a sense, it's like whatever. But it was easier to manage on LSD. I walked around, I rode the bike, I did this, I did that. Even on high doses. I mean, yeah, you get a little mad at high doses. So at high doses, you should probably stay indoors. But mushrooms I take for a different reason. If I was to take mushrooms like today, like it would be to go deep. Like I take DMT. The reason why I smoke DMT, So I like to dive deep into this tryptamine world. Ayahuasca, I like to dive deep into the tryptamine world. And every time I do ayahuasca, it's blindfold, closed eye visuals. I'm usually laying there for 3 hours, not moving an inch. Same thing with most psychedelics. Same thing with Hawaiian baby woodrose seeds. I like to, take the Hawaiian baby woodrose seeds. If I get sick, I get sick. If I don't, I don't. And I lay there with it blindfold on and experience the closed eye visuals. With LSD, I've had probably 50 to 100 LSD experiences. I have no idea at this point. But all of my experiences, I've only had 2 closed eye visuals that I've noticed, and I probably would have had more if I bothered to close my eyes. But LSD, because it tends to give me more energy, I tend to not want to sit there with my eyes closed. But right now, I just closed my eyes for that 2 seconds, and there's this purple streak that I can see. That's like a stream in a sense. It looks like it's streaming, but like it's like a purplish stream. And then I close my eyes again, and then there's like this rainbowish thing that's like coming at me. But like, so yes, I guess you can see things behind your eyes on LSD. And if I sat here like this, closed eyes, and went with it and let go, I would start seeing things, but not to the same degree that I like seeing when I'm, I don't know, on DMT or mushrooms or ayahuasca. Those are a little different than LSD. But Tony Beak 11, do you ever take supplements or do you prefer plants for lifting mood, etc.? I probably should take supplements. I used to be herbed out all the time. Like I used to take lion's mane mushroom and chaga mushroom. I used to take all these health herbs and all that. That was like in 2017. But lately, honestly, the best thing that has helped me is just cannabis, weed, like just weed, simple weed. And the fact that I do whatever I want in a sense right now. And luckily for me, I don't want too many things that cost that much money because I'm not rolling in the dough. I'm pretty fucking on the low end. I don't really have much money, but I went from having none to having a little bit, so it's got to be something. But like, I don't know. So like, the best thing for me lately is just doing things that I love to do. Just being free has allowed me to feel more uplifted. Like, I'm not confined to, I don't, like, if I wanted to smoke weed today, I can, but I don't need to. I went until like 2, 3 o'clock this afternoon before I even smoked weed. Like, me and my girl woke up this morning. Her friends were here because she went to go to her friend's house. They're going to do some, cookout shit, whatever. And like, so I gave her a dab and her friend a dab. I didn't take a dab and I didn't smoke until like 2, 3 o'clock in the afternoon. But like, in a sense, the fact that I could smoke is what keeps me uplifted. I don't know. It's just that I do what I want. Like you said, I'm kind of a free spirit, but I never noticed that until like you really realize what a free spirit is that a free spirit is just someone who lives freely. Your spirit is just freely doing what it freely loves and feels correct. Because I don't like to put myself in situations that make me feel not good. Like I go to work, which is the only thing that makes me feel not good, but it makes me feel good because it's helping the other things that are making me feel good, And it's not just the weed, it's not just the substances, because I don't need to do substances. I can quit using psychedelics right now for the next 2 years because I've done it before. I can quit using weed because I've done it before. The thing that keeps me, man, is like working out lately. That's been really good. I've been working out lately. I'm in the best physical shape of my life. I don't know, just little things like that. Best physical shape of my life. I go on jogs. I ride the bike around. I stay healthy. I ingest plants, Mother Nature. I don't know. I intermittent fast and smoke a shit ton of weed, but in a sense I don't, but I do. I ingest a lot of cannabis because like I just took a fucking I don't know how many milligrams I took. 700 milligrams or 800 milligrams, one or the other, of a THC edible. I'm like, yeah. Justin Marshall says lion's mane is great for come downs. That's interesting. I never looked at it like that for like a come down thing, but I can see why. It's just great for cognitive function in general. Tony Beak 11 says those are all great tips for Justin, I guess. Tony Beak 11 says, do you feel more connected to nature the day after a trip? Honestly, I'm weird. Okay, I don't know how to explain this. Ever since I did ayahuasca in 2016, I haven't felt I've constantly felt this connection to Mother Nature. I changed after my first ayahuasca experience. The way I viewed Mother Nature, the way I viewed outside, the sky, the way I look at the clouds, the way I breathe the oxygen around me, the way I observe and realize that everything is Mother Earth, that I just breathed oxygen that came from plants that are rooted inside of the planet that we call Earth, right? And this thing we call Earth is a rock that's floating in space. And this rock is inside of this thing that we call the galaxy. And the galaxy is in the side of this thing that we call, and it's just this constant fucking giant thing. And I feel connected to all that all the time. All the time. That's why I'd be like, I don't know. Some people be like, psychedelics changed you, and I'm like, they did change me, or they made me realize that I don't need to go back. Like, everyone's scared to permatrip. I'm scared to go back to being the me I used to be before I knew who the fuck I was, before I knew, I don't know, so in a sense, I've taught myself over the years how to sober, tripping balls, high as fuck, doesn't matter what drug I'm on. I will always feel connected to Mother Nature, and I always feel connected to the universe, and I always understand the understandings that the psychedelics teach me. I never forget. I live it. I breathe it. This is the shit that I believe. There are people that believe in Christians and like religions and that shit. I believe in the psychedelics. This is what I take. This is what I do. I've learned from them. I grow from them. I've cried with them. They've helped me through so much. And yeah. And it's like, I've just taught myself how to just be that all the time, in a sense. Or yes, the visuals will go away. Yes, the feeling of feeling this connected, like, oh my God, feeling will go away. But the thing that doesn't have to go away are the ideas, the way of thinking. That's a choice. You choose the way you think. And if psychedelics are pushing you to think a different way, you can choose to think that way even in your sober state of mind. So, yeah. Yeah. Dude, I forgot I took the edible. It's I'm sitting here wondering why do I feel like this come up type of feeling, like I'm rising on something. I was like, oh, did I take anything? Oh yeah, I took a shit ton of THC. Tony Beak 11 says, I don't smoke weed often, but when I do, I go out, plants just look different. All of Mother Nature becomes vibrant and mystical in a way. Yeah, I know. It's beautiful. I guess I'm high all the time, though, so it's like I see that all the time. But, even when I'm not high, I still see that. It's just beautiful. I guess that's why I prefer psychedelics, because like LSD is the most thing ever. Like it's so orgasmic and like loving and just so yeah, it's fun. But that's the psychedelic for me for fun. Like right now I'm just having fun with my life, I'm just having fun. Just living. Even me working hard, like people mistake hard work. Even me working hard as fuck is me playing and having fun. Because I'm just playing this game, because I can quit my job tomorrow. I don't give a fuck about the damn job. Like, it doesn't matter. Yeah, I thought of that idea one time when I was tripping too. Tony B. Levin says, have you ever heard of this idea? Humans don't have consciousness, plants do. And when we ingest them, we receive their consciousness. I came up with a similar idea, except my idea was more like, we have consciousness. We still have consciousness, and so do plants, though. It's that our consciousness and the plant's consciousness are different forms of consciousness. And when we take the plant is allowing us to feel what it feels. Like when I smoke weed, the cannabis plant is allowing me to see the world and feel the world the way that it sees and feels the world, by allowing me to have its molecules inside of me. By putting the molecules inside of me, I can see what it sees, feel what it feels, because feelings are just molecules in a sense, right? But oh yeah, I believe plants have their own spirits. See, I got into psychedelics from shamanism. So I've been researching shamanism for the past 6 years. And to the point where I got on this kick for a while that I was like, man, I'm not I got to learn from a real shaman. I got to learn from a real shaman. Then I came to the conclusion there's no such thing as a real shaman. Even the real shamans that are Native Americans that live in the jungles, there's nothing more real about them than you or me or Terrence or anyone else who does psychedelics to learn spiritually and grow spiritually. We're all psychedelic explorers learning from the psychedelic world, growing and becoming who we were meant to be slowly but surely, and helping others, right? And some people help others more than others. So basically, some people are modern day shamans and other people are not. And my thing is, I definitely feel like I'm a modern day shaman. Because I've always looked at this thing shamanically. I take plants. I don't get fucked up. That's the reason why I don't drink alcohol, because it has no soul to it. There's no soul to that thing. It tends to just suck souls, literally. Like you put alcohol inside of a plant. Like you put weed inside of alcohol. Guess what happens to the weed? The alcohol will suck the drugs out of the weed, and yeah, it's a spirit extractor. Exactly. That's why they called it a spirit extractor. Because it extracts the spirits of the plants. And it's like, in a sense, the natives believed that if you drank alcohol that did not have a plant in it, that it would begin to take your spirit into its alcohol. And that's not why I don't drink alcohol, though. I just don't vibe with it. It's just not my thing. I prefer to just take LSD. Like if I was gonna have fun, a lot of people drink alcohol recreationally. If I'm gonna do something recreationally, I'll just take a half a hit of some LSD and I'll be able to vibe correctly. Maybe take some MDMA or something. I'll be able to vibe correctly. Or that's my cup of tea. Or give me some fucking kratom. I took kratom the other day for the first time in 7 months, and it made me realize I'm probably never gonna use kratom every day like I used to ever again. That I now have more control over myself. So it's like, nope, I will use kratom once in a blue moon. But I give myself the leeway to use it once in a blue moon. But honestly, right now, if I could fucking find some LSD, I'd take some right now. It's still early enough for me to because now I'm just getting extra high on this cannabis edible, right? And I still feel like I'm tripping. I'm still tripping. but it was 5.5 hours ago. And after 5 hours of tripping on LSD, the 5 hour mark is like when the madness ends and when you start to the come down begins. And like LSD is so beautiful because randomly there'll be like this music will play and there's a certain frequency that just hit, and I don't know why, but it gave me this orgasmic feeling where I had to put my fucking phone down and just tell you guys about it. Like where I could just almost like like fuck yes. Dracula said, "What happened when you took kratom?" I don't know. It was a beautiful kratom experience. I felt it. It was more like obviously because I haven't taken kratom in 7 months. It was not as energizing as I remember kratom being, but that's because I took 3.5 grams and like I just ate it down and like whatever, and like I used to use kratom for the energy thing and the energy boost, but it was nice. It was a beautiful feeling. I kind of missed that feeling. It was nice, but yeah, whatever. Right? Am I still tripping? Oh yeah. Psychedelics are beautiful. Mm. 20 Big 11 says, "How did you make the edible?" Took some shatter. Took some half and half with some whole milk. Did half whole milk, half and half. Brewed it on the pot. Waited until it was hot. Took the shatter, and stirred it in. And brewed that for about 45 minutes, maybe an hour. Usually I brew it longer because usually I put weed in there as well, just to add the extra cannabinoids, I guess. Because the extra cannabinoids add something to the effects. Like a pure THC edible, like if you have an isolated THC edible, it feels a little different than if you have a THC edible that was made with the whole plant. The whole plant will have the whole body feel with it too, because it has all of the cannabinoids. But this, I'm tripping. I didn't really have time for this shit. So I was like, yo, nope, I'm just going to eat the wax, basically. And if it works, it works. If it doesn't, I take more. So in the next, I feel like I'm getting higher. So obviously it's going to work. So I'm sitting there like, well, whatever. But if it didn't work, I was just going to take more and attempt whatever. I was going to attempt another way. I was just going to take the wax, somehow find a way to heat it up, to decarboxylate it while it's just like this, you know? Like, look at this shit, bro. So sexy, right? Like, oh. Sexy. Tony Beak 11 says, when I do edibles, it's literally only 3 to 4 milligrams. How you took 800 milligrams, I will never know. But I also have zero tolerance. When I first did this, I had zero tolerance. Basically, I guess I had a slight tolerance, but for the most part, I had zero tolerance, and it hit me hard. But I'm used to tripping, so like at this level of a THC, it becomes like a psychedelic and like similar to a psychedelic, where it's like whatever, where there's a come up, a peak, and a come down to the edible, especially when you're at higher doses. But weirdly, if you wanted to compare the edible that's about to fully kick in and the peak of this edible, and when I was just at the peak of the LSD, probably like a few hours ago at the peak of the LSD, I guarantee will feel less. I felt so much less anxious than I will at the peak of this THC edible, because THC tends to have more anxiety than LSD, even though LSD tends to be more intense. And it's so weird, but like that's the only negative side effects with THC edibles is it can give people severe anxiety. But I love anxiety. I love getting punched in the face. That's why I like taking high, dose THC edibles, because like shit. Yeah. She can hit you. Oh, I know that. Tony Beak says THC can activate the 5-HT2A receptors, which is what gives the kaleidoscopic visuals. Well, the 5-HT2A receptors are the psychedelic receptors. That's interesting. But there is visuals when you take a high dose of THC edible, but that's because the liver, when you eat an edible, it turns THC. Because what I just did because the reason why I didn't just eat this wax, like why didn't I just capsulize this shatter and eat it? Because then it might not have worked, because it's not decarboxylated. It might have worked. There's still a possibility, but there's a better possibility that it won't work. So therefore, I just heat it up. Sometimes I get visuals from edibles. And like the stomach will turn the THC molecule from THC, and it goes from THCA, this way. The THCV, when you heat it up, to then when you eat it, it goes from THCV to 11-hydroxy delta 9 THC or whatever. Well, for me, Tony Beak says you've got this down to a science. For me, like I'm all about that shit, right? Like the molecules, I want to try to remember like what receptors it attaches to and all that shit, because I need to. If I'm going to take substances, I want to generally know what they're doing, and that's why I'm interested in all these things. Like that's why I do these things, not just for a shamanic sense, but for my curiosity. I have this curiosity to explore the unexplored, to also explore, the not norm. So I like to stay educated on all the different molecules that I'm putting in my body just to make sure, Fuck yes. Tony Beak 11 says life is either a daring adventure or nothing at all. Helen Keller. Helen Keller was on point with that. I hope everyone's having an amazing night. As this THC edible starts to kick in, I'm gonna start feeling like this, guys. Lurk, you know. Right though. 20 Big 11 says there are 7 people watching and 1 person in the chat. Maybe the 7 people are just tripping balls, or maybe they just like, or maybe I'm just tripping balls and I'm just that entertaining or something. I don't know. But y'all can join in the chat, right? Like shit. Let's all have a chat. Let's have a conversation. I might have to leave, guys. But I'll be back. So, like, I'm going to end this live stream, or I'm going to keep it going one or the other. I have no fucking idea. But, I am running the store because I want to get a fucking Dutch. I'm like, I need a Dutch. So, yeah. I'll be back. So, everybody, just expect my live stream back up. Check up on it in the next 20 minutes. Check back in this live stream. Well, not this live stream because whatever. I'm going to end this one and then I'll start a new one. But Tony Beak11 says, good luck on your endeavors. It's funny because I got to go to the place that I work. So, like, this is going to be fun. Like, hi, guys. I work with y'all. I'm tripping balls. I need a Dutch. Yo, it's so crazy how LSD can literally turn a fucking day of doing nothing into the most magical fucking day you lived. Like, well, this is going to be interesting. I'm not really tripping anymore. That's why I'm like, I should be fine. Nah. I work at 7-Eleven. T Sizzler says, "You're right though. That motherwort underrated as fuck. I know. Motherwort is like my favorite herb. I might take some motherwort too, because I took some LSD at 5:30, and now it's 10:30 now. It's 10:40. But then I took a cannabis edible at like 10, 800 milligram edible, and then I might take some motherwort when I get back because you just said something. But I'll see y'all in 20 minutes. Okay, so come back in 20 minutes. Peace out, everybody."